Hello, my beautiful crew. It's Jamie Salazar, the Mystic Medium, and I help people navigate this awakening shift in energy so you can take your spiritual power back. In this video, I will be talking about the upcoming light frequencies that are going to give us a huge boost into the age of Aquarius on December 21st, which is the winter solstice of this year. Yes, in just a few short days, my friends, and we're starting right now. I'm sure by now you've heard a few people talk about December 21st, 2020, sort of in the same way as they talked about the Mayan calendar ending in 2012. For some of you, that date came and went with no difference in energy, or so you thought. The truth is that there are many energy portals or gateways or timelines that have gotten us to this point. The Great Awakening of Consciousness kicked up a few good notches, and if you're watching this channel, you're at least starting to understand what they were talking about. Sure, 2020 has been a shit show if you haven't awakened to the fact that we've been manipulated and our creative consciousness has been used against us. And if that's the case, you're watching this and thinking, this chick is off her rocker. But if you are an empath or an intuitive and you can feel the shift around you with your awareness, then you might not think I'm so crazy after all. Either way, it's a lot of fun. I like to have fun with it and laugh, but for a few that are just starting out and getting glimpses of something resembling the Twilight Zone, welcome to the Tinfoil Hat Club. And believe me, for those of you that are just waking up to this, shit's about to get real. It's not always butterflies and rainbows, but one of the most important steps is this one, so you can't skip it. The good news is that you have people like me that talk about these types of things and you won't feel alone because we've already done it. So our insanity in this three-dimensional world becomes your guidebook into the limitless creation of your own multi-dimensional souls. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. So congratulations. You and I and all the other creators around have collectively created a higher frequency that brought you to this point in order to wake the hell up. 2020 wasn't a shit show after all. It was your creative consciousness wanting you to have some fun before you learned what was happening in order to become a deliberate creator. You may be asking yourself, if I'm a creator, then why the hell wouldn't I have created my life to be easier? Why aren't I a millionaire? Why is all this suffering going around the world? I am so glad you asked. But let me counter with asking you, why would you make it so easy and not have any lessons to learn in this life? If you're going to incarnate here in this physical dimension, then why not get the most out of everything in it? Are you more advanced for struggling and seeing yourself and others suffer? Or are you more advanced for having it all and not seeing any negativity, no balance, or no yin and yang energy? This is a trick question because you've actually done it all. There's no such thing as time because you are a creator. In other words, you are a piece of God's source energy, and you've lived every timeline with every possibility. You're just now figuring out how to take advantage of it and make that shit count. The different dimensions, as I call it, is a kind of a lack of wording. I was talking to my amazing healing friend last week, and we were having a conversation about perspective. I've decided that that word I like much better in describing 3D and 5D and all the other Ds. Our perspective is shifting into a new place. Believe me, there are people that are out there living on the streets that some may see as damaged or low frequency, but actually they're so high up in perspective that they've got more knowledge than any of us do. Some of them already know it and some do not. So if I were you, which I am, then I would want to treat everyone with as much love and respect as possible. Of course, there are trying times when you lose your shit. This may be because you can see things in a different perspective, or in another way of saying that is in a different dimension, and you just have a hard time seeing eye to eye, so to speak, because they don't match the same frequency or wavelength as you do at this moment. Let me tell you, this is going to start shifting with this new age of Aquarius. Some of you may have heard this as the Star of Bethlehem will be visible for the first time in however many centuries, and it is actually going to come into play on December 21st, 2020. This is the battle of good and evil, or Jesus and Satan. This is because Jupiter and Saturn are coming into alignment and will be visible in one star in our night sky. Jesus is Jupiter and Satan is Saturn. This is because of their influence on our consciousness, and it's also the reason that many religions have told you not to use astrology because it's evil. But yet those religions, they all use astrology, and you didn't know it. I've touched on this a bit earlier in other videos, but today I'm going to stay on track as much as I can because we all know that I love to go on tangents. So let's get into the goodies and figure out what all of this means. First off, let me say that all of this has been a very slow process to get to this point. So I'm not expecting it to be one big event that shakes us all to the core, which is on the 21st, or in a couple of days now. But then again, we're collectively creating this together, so maybe it will for some, and maybe it won't. I suppose we all have to wait and see, but it's more likely in my mind that we all get to see much more of the disclosure of what was hidden. So grab your popcorn and kick back for the most exciting time of your life this far. If you thought 2020 was insanity, just wait for 2021. Let me also say that I don't think it'll be as depressing, but maybe I'm just speaking from my perspective as well. I suppose it may be pretty intense for some who still need a good shaking before they can see things in the beings that were in trusted positions that aren't as loving and caring about you as they once thought or you once thought. We may be hearing that our story or our history was told to us in a different way than what actually happened in order to predict the outcome that they wanted using our creative abilities. It also means a lot of really shitty things need to come out to the open instead of being behind the scenes. But please remember that this has already been happening, and the disclosure means that it will now be out in the open in order to change things. Change is the key word and will catapult us into a beautiful timeline where we will start to see things as a collective, and it will cease at some point, very slowly, to be all about materialism and greed. We will move into higher consciousness and abundance. This is inevitable, so remember, when you're feeling like there's so much evil on the planet that you can't stand it, you may not understand me as of yet, and some of you do. What I'm saying now, later on, when you're feeling terrible, please don't. My sweet lovers of the earth and of humanity, all is well, and this needed to be seen, 2020 vision, to make a change beyond it. Use your creative abilities in these new energies. Go within and find your true self. Do shadow work and get all of your demons out and face them and make your life better. That way others want to make their lives better and give them the strength to do their own work as well. Beyond this old energy, we will evolve into higher consciousness. This doesn't always mean that the craziness won't be there, and in fact, it may even get crazier in order to bring out this old shadow and then shine the light on it. This is a new beginning of freedom, truth, enlightenment, and honoring the individual and our uniqueness and loving our differences and coming together as one, community and standing together. Now, as I said, this is a process, but it's an exciting one and one that you will be honored that you chose to be here at this specific time on our planet. Remember that you chose to be here during this time and during this shift for a reason. And by being on this planet for a few seconds means that you are an absolute badass. I'm so excited to shift with you, and I'm honored to be in front of you now to help you navigate this process. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a beautiful meditation as well as introduce you to another wise man with some awesome knowledge. I'm doing a collaboration with another YouTuber and a beautiful soul in January, and we're going to talk about ascension and the crazy symptoms via Zoom, so I'm excited for that. And I have another few tricks up my sleeve. I'm just starting on a series of courses that I'll be teaching on manifestation, as well as discovering and pulling out your own psychic abilities. That will be on my website, probably late spring, early summer. So keep a watch on that at mymysticmedium.com. Sending love and light to each and every one of you, my amazing and powerful creators. Remember that I am are the two most powerful words in existence. What you say after them create your reality. Welcome to your ascension. I'll see you on the next video.